What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video. Today we've got Akshan Gnar. It's kind of like Sivir Akshan, pretty similar, a lot of the same cards. The main difference is being Gnar, and then also some spice with the old Papercraft Dragon Rune Runner combo. Very powerful, having a 8/5 double striking overwhelming spell shield unit. Tends to get the job done. Not to mention you can combo with like Absolver or a leveled up Gnar to have a gigantic overwhelming unit also. I've been playing this deck quite a bit. This is one of my list. He just made masters with it. These decks in general, Akshan Sivir decks, were never really my forte. And as I've been playing this list more, I'm starting to figure out these lists more and more. I just played an amazing game against Fake Hero where I just kind of like did everything right and everything lined up perfectly, and I was like, man, I wish I was recording this. I look like a genius. But it really gave kind of like a light bulb in my head that, and even though I know this is true, I still try to play these decks quite aggressively because they seem like, it's a deck with a bunch of 1-drops and 2-drops and pump spells like Shapestone and Absolver. And so it feels like you should just be very aggressive, right? You just want to bash your opponent's face in. Just get them. But that's really not how the decks play out or should play out. Because you're not a particularly good aggressive deck. Like these 2/1s for 1, like they don't do that much damage, and they just trade off and get stopped pretty quickly. Action's a 2/2 for 2, Concolage is a 2/2 for 2, Rockhopper's a 3/1. Like these cards are not really scary by themselves. You're not just going to go like 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, even like and then like into a Rune Runner and beat them down. It just doesn't happen that way. Like occasionally, sure, but typically, no. Your opponent's going to be able to handle your 2/1s and your 2/2s and your 3/1s relatively easily. What the deck is really trying to do is a few things. It's trying to set up some big, powerful situations. One of them is, if we start at the top here, flipping Akshan. Playing Akshan on 2 is very powerful. There's been times where I've thought about maybe playing him on 3 because I could, keep up like a pump spell, a Shapestone, in case my opponent like Mystic Shotted him. But really, you just want to get him down, and you want to get his what's it start with? Warlord's Palace going into Warlord's Horde. Because both of these cards are extremely powerful, and you're able to level them really quickly. And this is kind of old news, I know. But if you haven't played these decks a lot, or you're not super familiar with them, a countdown from 8 seems like a lot, right? Even with like, yeah, okay, when you target stuff, it like goes a little bit faster, but 8 seems like a huge number. And it turns out, like Warlord's Palace, if you play Akshan on 2, you basically always get Warlord's Palace going. It's very rarely that you don't at least get that. And so, even just getting the Relic of Power alone is very powerful. And then getting the Warlord's Horde and counting that down, you win a lot of those games. It's pretty rare when you have a Warlord's Horde go off and you lose. I'm sure if you played against these decks a lot, you've probably seen your opponent do it, and you're like, ah, crap, here it comes. So that is one game plan. The caveat to that is if you're playing against another aggressive deck and the game's not going to go very long, that game plan's not so great because you're probably never going to get to the Horde, and the first countdown is only so powerful. So keep that in mind. But that is sort of like, that's one. That's the first sort of thing you're trying to do. Number 2 is level up Gnar. Quickly, probably on turn 4. It's absolutely perfect with... Oh, we're not playing the other 1-drop anymore? What? Really? That's wild. Okay, so originally the list was running, as many Gnar lists are, running Inventive Chemist. Because if you play Inventive Chemist on turn 1, the Scrappy Bomb goes off on turn 4, and that means that your Gnar is just leveled. And it's very powerful when it happens. The downside being that if you don't drop him on turn 1, or if you don't have the Gnar after you drop him on turn 1, if you don't have the Gnar on turn 4, Now you're just playing an inventive chemist in your deck that's like not really doing much. So I think that's the reason we're not playing it anymore. There are other decks that play like Teeny Dactyl, and so they'll have kind of like backup versions of Gnar if you don't draw a Gnar. In that case, Chemist is fantastic. You probably still want to be playing Chemist. So Gnar in general, though, very powerful. Like, obviously, right? You've been seeing it just crushing. There's all kinds of different lists with Gnar. Gnar can just win games on its own. It's it's 4 mana and then just like can take over a game. So, let alone we're talking about putting like a Papercraft Dragon on it. That's cute and stuff, but the Gnar typically is doing a lot of work on its own. So kind of putting all your eggs in one basket. This is typically not a play that I'm making too often unless I know that my opponent can't deal with it somehow and they're just going to die. Then sure, of course, right? Just get them. Sure. So that's number 1. Number 2, your champs. Number 3, getting a Papercraft Dragon on something. It could be a Rune Runner. Fantastic. A lot of times you want to try and get the Rune Runner in safely on your opponent's turn after they've attacked. If you play it on your turn, and then let them go to their turn, and then come back to your turn and put the Papercraft Dragon on, they typically have enough time to deal with it. You know, they know what's going on. Not just going to sit there and be like, oh, just let that Rune Runner just destroy me next turn. So, ideally, you want to play Rune Runner on their turn, preferably after they've attacked, so they can't like challenge it or anything, or they've spent mana, so they can't really deal with it. And then you slam your Papercraft Dragon and be like, okay, try to deal with this 5 toughness spell shielded unit. It's pretty hard for most decks to do. You also have Absolver. So again, giving Overwhelm to anything with Papercraft Dragon on it is fantastic and deals a bunch of damage, especially when you're pumping its power by 4. Preservarium, just very good. Turns on your Shapestone, kind of like helps you churn through the deck. The deck is like a little bit of an amalgamation of good stuff. And you have some role players like Conchologist, just a good card. Gets you like lots of important cards. The one that I like the most that's really, really powerful, I mean, there's a bunch of them as we scroll by, but it's Gnar's Champ Spell, so Wallop. This card's insane. It's one of the few ways you have, or any deck has, of stopping the Gnar stalemate when you and your opponent both have a Gnar, and you're kind of like going back and forth at each other. Typically, whoever has the most Wallops will win that fight. Wallop's great. There's a bunch of good things you can get. And you got some role players. You got Pokey Stick, helps you turn on your Gnar. The Vagabond's real nice. In any matchup that is not aggro, you're going to want to try and level up action, and you're going to want to try and go after the Horde. So if you don't have action, or even if you do, Vagabond helps you count it down. But if you don't have action, getting Vagabond going, getting that Warlord's Palace counting down quickly so that when you do draw an action, he'll level and he'll continue on with the whole process. Very important. Merciless Hunter, obviously good. Has been good for forever. Great with things that have quick attack. Has Fearsome itself. Helps you pick off other units. When you're playing your Merciless Hunter or when you're playing your Gnar, you have to be very strategic about these things. There's times even when you might have a good open attack. Like say you have like an Akshan and a Conchologist, and your opponent has no board, but they have like 5 mana. There's situations where you might just want to pass to them. In that, if they play something out, now you can Fearless Hunter it. And if they don't, and they go to their turn, that might be beneficial for you compared to say you play a Merciless, or say you just get in for 4, and then they're able to like get a Trundle or a Lee Sin, or maybe their own Gnar is another one, right? Like maybe a Landmark went off and hit you, and you know they're on Gnar, and so if you just attack them and they get to play a Gnar and flip it, and you just don't really have a way to answer it, you're going to be a bunch of trouble. But if you just pass to them, they have to now. They could, if they play their Gnar out, you get to kill it by giving it vulnerable and going after it. And if they don't play their Gnar out, or then they go to their turn, and now it's much harder for them to level Gnar if they don't have like that Landmark trigger or something else. So these are the kinds of things with Gnar and Merciless Hunter especially that you really have to think about. And having a lot of cheap spells is fantastic in the deck, as it allows you to like keep passing priority to still do something in the game, you know, develop your board a little bit, or you know, cycle through your deck a little bit with a Preservarium or a Pokey Stick. And that way, if your opponent decides, no, I still don't want to play anything into your Merciless Hunter, well, maybe you've used your mana and you've developed your board enough and you can just ship the turn back to them. Depends, though. This is what makes the game, you know, very complicated. And what makes it so fantastic. But these are the really important things that you need to be focusing on, and what will be the difference between winning and losing games. Because like that situation I just said right there with having like a couple units, just getting attack in, let your opponent play Gnar, flip it, or just get down Gnar and then be able to attack you on their turn. Like that can be the difference between winning and losing all the time. So we'll see if those kind of things come up as we jump into some games here. Really wish I had recorded that game against Fake Hero, because all the things I just said came up. Okay. Gnar is so good. Like Gnar Trundle, Gnar Poppy, Gnar, like literally everything. So, okay, so this is a Bandle Tree deck. Pretty sure. So what do we want against Bandle Tree? We probably need to get like a big Overwhelm unit going, because they're able to just gum up the ground so well. But they do play like mini morphs and scorched earths and stuff. So we will have some time, because Tree takes a little bit of time to actually go off. So we definitely want an Akshan. Rockhopper is kind of in this matchup. They've got so many like House Spider and like random little units that they just don't even care about. We'll take Gnar. Gnar is fantastic, of course. All right, this is a pretty good hand. Got a nice little curve. We got our champs. We got a couple Papercraft Dragons. If you don't know already, you can only play one of these type of cards on a unit. Being a Magic player, I'm used to enchanting things with multiple enchantments, and one time I definitely put a Papercraft Dragon on a unit that had Papercraft Dragon on it, and was like, oh, right. Okay, so here we have to decide if we want to trade with the Sloping Telescope or not.
Watch your head.
I guess so. I don't know if I love this, because it allows them to play like a 3-2 or something, and then we don't have a good blocker for it. Mayor. Okay.
Let's go. Grab my hat.
Hand is a little bricked at the moment. Okay, glad they didn't have another unit there at least. So, now we have to decide if we want to drop Gnar right now into 5 mana. What do they got for 5 mana? Buster Shot. Or like a Pokey Stick group shot plus a Flock Scorched Earth kind of thing. So it's possible that what we want to do is keep Gnar for next turn when we can protect him with Rite of Negation. So, because it's gonna feel real bad if we go Gnar and they Buster Shots. Like, what do we do next? Like, what does our next turn look like? Right? Like, what are we gonna do? Put a Papercraft Dragon on an auction? I guess. It's not fantastic though. So here, what we can do instead is we can go Treasure Seeker. We can maybe play some Walking Sands out, Waking Sands. Ooh, that's a big guy. But double Waking Sands does not suck. So we're happy to kill either of these. Let's see what happens. So here's the consideration: is do we go in with everything? Because we do have another Akshan. The Mayor would still die. They could go block Portal Slot on Akshan, throw Mayor in front of a Charger, take 7. So we're definitely going here. So these two, this is the block for sure. Another thing you can do with this deck is bluff attacks with your quick attack units if you don't have pump. This is a little bit too big, as our pump spell would give +2, so it wouldn't really matter. But something to keep in mind. Having Mayor die, though, you know what? Mayor die or them take a bunch of damage. So now they're forced to block here because they because they can't take 12, basically. And so
Retreating bravely.
we have another auction in our hand. Thus, we don't really care too much about our auction dying. We pushed a bunch of damage, and we got the mayor off the board, which I think is the most important part, because I mean, you guys know, mayor's so freaking good. The discount that it gives is fantastic. Okay, so we got 7 mana. So we can't get Gnar and go right. So what we can do, though, is go Akshan. This counts down to 2.
They've never seen a contraption like this before.
This is slightly unfortunate. If they attack, though, we can pump and Akshan a level. Okay. So we have to counter this. There's the buster shot we were afraid of. So now their attack is not looking so hot. Let's see where they decide to go. If they just go full swing or what. So we could get a free...
Hug it out.
A basically free block here. We can pump True Seeker to kill like a Poro Sled. We just don't even really care though, because they're not a fantastic aggro deck. They can aggro you down for sure. I mean, they got Poppy and stuff. Kind of interesting they didn't come with everything though. What if they forgot that this Poro Sled was going to pop out a guy? Poro Sled's very big. Let's see how much mana we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna have 6 mana next turn. Akshan's gonna level. Man, I'm really tempted to off this Pro Sled, but I'm gonna keep this Shapestone. Maybe if they have another Buster Shot, we could protect a Gnar. Like, they have so many, like, Ravenous Flocks, and Pokey Sticks, and group shots that, like, it's not really a great option. We did get the Horde down, though. And this is a matchup that, you know, goes a little bit slower. Let's go take a peek, see what we get. Rune Order doesn't suck. Yeah, that's pretty much what we wanted to see.
What was theirs is now ours.
So like I said earlier, though, we're going to play it on their turn. So now the question is, do we want a Gnar? I think we do. Because even if they spend mana dealing with the Gnar, that means they're not developing this turn. And that's kind of what we want. We want to slow them down by forcing them to deal with our units. It's also one less removal spell that they have to hit Rune Runner with. So it's interesting how sometimes you actually kind of want to like almost sacrifice. Sometimes you want to protect your champions. Sometimes you kind of want to like just put them out there because it forces your opponent to deal with them. And if they don't, well then your champion's out there doing good champion stuff.
Together we are united.
I mean, they have lots of chump blockers as per usual. But we got a Pokey Stick. Full lock, yeah, okay. So now the question is, do we want to level Gnar? I assume so. 6/5. It's close though. So if they play a Poppy out next turn, that is a lot of damage coming at us. So we might just want to pick off this Telescope because our win condition isn't really Gnar. It's close. We do get to draw a card. So I think this is fine. Pokey, pokey. Oh, wow. That was a huge draw. This wallop's fantastic. So now we're pretty safe from their next turn. Solid level up animation.
Let's roll!
Just gonna open right now. That's cool. So Maybe we block out of the 3-2 or the 2-2. This brings us to 2. Yikes. This brings us to 3. Then it becomes can they kill us from 3? What do they got for burn? Pokey stick? It's about it usually. Alright. I think we're going to start with a Treasure Seeker, just to try and get them to spend some more mana. So I don't like them having the full 7 when we put down our Rune Runner. It makes it a lot easier for them to deal with the Rune Runner and the Gnar.
Dark times come and go.
Field Musician, okay. We'll take a little second, like, you know, like, oh, like, we don't know exactly what we're doing next turn. Like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Shall see. Ooh, Equinox.
That old trick again.
That's annoying. Into their own Gnar. Okay, that's fine. So. Mini Morph. Can we... We can't even win past Mini Morph, can we? Oh, that Equinox is so good. So sometimes if you can't beat a card, you just have to ignore that it even exists. It's too bad we don't have a Absolver, because even if they Mini Morph, it would still have +2/+2, and I think Quick Attack? Because it doesn't get rid of this. I don't know if it gets rid of the abilities, though. I don't think so. We also have to worry about Flock. Or Scorched Earth. Alright, well, because of Scorched Earth, I guess we go here. I guess we just have to hope they don't have, well, an answer, but like there's so many things. Burn plus Scorched Earth or Mini Morph. Yeah, it's not good. Group shot. Alright, well, I guess we do this. Why are they group shotting right now? Oh, they went Gnar into Gnar? Ugh, so many. Well, what can we do now? Guess we can do this. We're not dead. Pretty sure between our blocks, our stun, and our pokey stick, we're not dead yet. Now we have 2 cards in hand.
Wouldn't be a quest without some danger.
That's not good. How do they draw a card there? What just happened? Oh, is this Field Musician? Damn, son. And the Field Musician going off too? Now are we dead? Oh no! Oh no! Now we're probably dead. What a sequence of cards. Man, these tree decks are so good right now. Like, it's absurd. Alright. Pretty sure now we're dead. Block.
We got it
Block.
first.
Yeah, looking pretty dead. Triple checking we're dead. Yeah, so maybe looking back on this game, you know, maybe not trying to go for the kill there. I mean, that Equinox sucked. But there's so many good hits now off of all the units that create things that it's like you almost should start like assuming that they have something good. Like it used to be that there was like a bunch of bad hits and you would just a lot of times just get stuck with stuff or something that was kind of like just okay. But now there's so many good, powerful cards that you can get. And you get to choose from 3. So a decent amount of the time your opponents are going to hit something pretty solid. Was this a mirror? Okay. Everyone's using these sleeves. I want the misfortune sleeves. I'm like climbing up the battle pass. What do we want here? Probably not a lot of this stuff. Merciless Hunter's okay. I honestly don't even think we want the 1-drops that much. I think we'll just ship it all back. Look for like Akshan and Gnar. And we miss. This is what I'm talking about with the 1-drops. Like you think that like curving out will be really good. That's honestly just not even that impressive. But, you know, I mean, we'll take damage. We'll take the damage if we can get it. Here it is. Look at this. Look at this. I didn't even know this was a card. Do you guys know Unworthy was a card? So in this deck, we played 2 rights that destroy a mana gem. So if you ever cast a right and you have an Unworthy, it's 2 mana slow, kill a unit. I killed a Trundle with it. It was absurd. So, I mean, like, Ancient Hourglass doesn't totally suck either. And Wallop is fantastic. I guess it's slow, so yeah. So only if you killed the mana gem is it good. But Wallop's insane. Wallop's insane. It's like, boop. Our 2 mana 2/2 just got us a Wallop. Just got us like an insane card. So, yeah. If you're playing against decks that have any of these manifest units, like, be very wary. Be very wary. It's come to the point where there's so many good hits now that it's like you can't just be like, oh, they got the Equinox, oh, they got the Wallop. It's like, yeah, they're gonna get something. It might not be exactly the card, the perfect card, but like a lot of things are interchangeable. Let's see. Can we do here? I think we just like Merciless Hunter it. Feels like kind of weird to do that before it attacked, but I also couldn't think of any punishes, so ooh, Gnar does not suck. So I think we just get in here. Get in here, deal them 4. So we could pump, but I think we just want to get Gnar down.
Party member down!
We also have a Pokey Stick. Did she say party member down? That's awesome.
Let us take a peek at life
A flip
beneath
Gnar
the
is
waves.
pretty difficult for... Ooh, if they have another action, they can champ spell. Oh, thank God they didn't have one. That's one of the best ways to deal with a Gnar in these decks. How to deal with an opposing Gnar is action champ spell, because you actually just don't have a lot of ways to deal with Gnar in this deck. Just like don't exist. So we got a bunch of big guys
Love it when they run!
and some pump spells. Yeah, so this is a spot where they are doing a lot of dangerous things. So we just want to let them come at us. Don't need to use any mana if we just get out of this turn totally happy. See what they got. Okay, so we're going to start there. We are going to... We're definitely walloping. They could have a right. Something to consider. So yeah, I think we'll just go here. Not going to block these. If they do right, then we will pokey stick the Akshan. Okay, no right. Absolver's online. Next turn we're going to have 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 mana. So if we play Rune Runner, we have exactly 4 left. Does not suck. Can we get lethal, though? Think so? Let's see. 6, 12, 16. Minus 3 is 13. Now we pokey stick them in the face, hopefully, that they don't, like, write it or something. Oh, also, Akshan's going to level up. Alright. Pass.
You cannot run from absolution.
Action leveling up really doesn't matter, as you can see, like, this game's going to end before this horde goes off. Pretty sure. Oh, 8 mana. Why am I so bad at math? Math is tricky.
Sand and trouble.
This doesn't feel super correct. I think I think I'm doing this wrong when I'm playing this deck. I think on these turns, like that last game, instead of just jamming Rune Runner, we could be going like a little bit wider, getting Conchologist, getting Preservarium, dealing with their board a little bit. Because we're not going for lethal, so we're not like doing a lot that's really exciting. Okay, well, Shapestone still gives +2.
Everything in between. After them.
So go here, and here. Yeah, not lethal. Could put them to 2. Could trade Merciless Hunters. Is that something that we want to do? I kind of feel like we do.
That's right. Run!
Oh man, if we could get this Overwhelm, that'd probably be lethal.
Quit struggling.
Put them to 6. Okay. I think we probably want to pop this Spell Shield right now. Because then if they play the Double Strike on the Rune Runner, we can play Conchologist and try to search up
a mile away.
An answer. Also, they don't know we don't have an answer in hand. We could have a wall up. Make them think twice. Alright, well, there it is. Let's see. So this is 16 damage. If we block with Gnar, we go to 1. So I'm trying to think of like how much pump. The problem is that all the Shapestone Absolver stuff, like, they do +2. So we have to use like 2 things to counter one of theirs. So I think we just go Conchologist, try and search something up. Oh, that grappling hook was a little bit sooner. I think we'll take it anyway, though, just in case they decide to develop again.
Out of the way.
They didn't. All right. Well, looks like we might be dead. Ooh, maybe should have pumped here first. because now we go to 1. So now we have to keep 4 mana up to be able to write a Pokey Stick. This is close. It's gonna be close.
Take a peek at life beneath the waves.
What did they get off that Concologist? Okay. So I think we just open. Because we have lethal. Gotta assume we have lethal here. And playing out any units just lets them play our units and block, which kind of sucks up our mana. So we can go like let's see how much mana. We have 11 mana, 4, 8. Sorry, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay.
After them.
Do they have, what do they need? Well, there's a lot of things they could have. They could stop this, technically. But they'll have to put a bunch of stuff on the stack. So like they'll have to have like a right also, where like double Pokey Stick also gets there. Okay, so this puts them to 4. Where do we start? I think we just start with like double Shapestone on here. Uses the least amount of mana. So scary. What do they have? What do they have? Can you imagine if this was like, you know, to make top 32 seasonals or like to win a seasonals or something? This is like, I mean, if they have it, they have it. Right? There's not a whole lot of like tricking them. Okay. Okay, so this means they're probably dead. Yeah. So they're just defensively trying to stay alive now. If they have double Pokey Stick after all this, I'm going to be so sad. They easily could, right? Because, I mean, they're in the same boat. They don't want to spend too much mana either. Double Pokey Stick. Still deadly. I wouldn't be surprised if they had at least one. We can deal with one Pokey Stick. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed the GG. Apologies. Sometimes it just like ends really quickly. All right, well, that was a freaking squeaker. I've been at Plat 2, Plat 1 for like a whole day, like a solid day. I tried to do my like straight to masters in one stream, and I've just been here, just been chilling here. I think I need to try some other decks. I don't know, or I just need to play the decks better. That's also important. I don't know if you guys know that. It's not as much about the deck, but how you play it. No, that can't be right. It can't be me. It can't. What? That's ridiculous. It must be the deck's fault. I'm RNG, right? I'm just getting unlucky, obviously. Just because what am I made it to Masters and I'm stuck here. We're playing the same list. Ah, crap. Do you hate it when logic's not your friend? Okay, same matchup. Once again, I think we're just going to hard mull. So a hard mull for the champs that are oh so good. Gonna full miss. Oh, I love this. They're really up in their game with the cosmetics. Oh, look, see, they're running the Inventive Chemist, which is probably going to be very good.
Go get the shiny I got an idea.
If they have a Gnar on 4, we are in a lot of trouble. Oh, we have a Gnar. That's helpful, but still not quite good enough. So even playing this out, even playing this Rock Armor out, like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Sure, pass.
Almost got it.
All right, well, their hand sucks, but if they have a Gnar on 4, they still probably just win the game.
Good people don't look the other way.
There's an Akshan.
We're not taking it.
So this is a spot where they could bluff here with an Akshan attack. But our guy is so
shiny,
useless that we wouldn't
it's gotta
care.
be
We just throw him in front.
strong.
Yeah. So we eat this. It's really not looking great for us at the moment. They also have the ability to pump Akshan and then use Akshan Champ spell to kill our Gnar, which is not cool.
Cool eye patch.
You like it?
Okay, they don't have the Gnar.
Shut up and
So this is
fight.
the thing. Like, if they had the Gnar, like, boom, they win. If they don't have the Gnar, so they just played some random one drops that like don't really do anything. I guess we just off this. Or do we use this 3/3 to kill this and then hit them with the
Wipe it
Gnar?
off.
Maybe that's the play? Yep. I don't hate that. I think.
Took it fair and square.
Party member down.
I didn't realize she said party member down. That's awesome. We're still not looking great, though. We're still very soft to Rune Runner into double attack thing. Guy. Unit. Oh, but they're going Waking Sands. Waking Sands we are not so afraid of. Could also level up our Gnar. Maybe that's the play.
Quick
All
hands
right.
make quick work.
Level up Gnar does not suck. Has been well documented that not sucking. Not sucking at all. Exact opposite of sucking. It's a lot of ass kicking. Okay, they're gonna go for the Akshan level. Oh, that into that. We don't have a right? That's unfortunate. Right? It's unfortunate, right? Well, I guess there's not really anything we can do about this. Yeah.
Justice works fast. Talk is worthless. We are what we do.
Both of our hands suck, but our opponent has Akshan going, so they get to outcard advantage us a little bit. There's the right. The right. Oh my gosh, I just realized that this whole video has been totally
This is
effed up, and that you guys haven't been able to see my hand this whole time.
yoink.
I apologize for my screen always getting screwed up.
We got
That's
it
so
first.
annoying. I'm still just posting it. It's close enough. You guys you see the cards I'm drawing? Like, come on, you remember, right? I'm sure it was a fine experience for you. Okay. Can we afford to take 6 here? That is the question. I really don't want to, but it looks like I'm probably going to. I probably shouldn't. Why? This thing got pumped by... Yeah, okay. Okay. This feels terrible. It feels so wrong.
It's a trap.
We could play a million Waking Sands. If we play at least one Waking Sands. Minimum. Huh. Just passes it right back, huh? So if we throw down a Rune Runner, it just gets blocked. Which kind of sucks. We just go Waking Sands number 2? They only have 4 cards in hand, so it seems like there's a good chance that their hand is kind of bricked. We could play this Treasure Seeker, but... Well, actually, Treasure Seeker plus Pokestick kills some stuff. Probably just gonna eat a bunch of damage here.
Rob 'em blind.
Alright.
Not a chance.
Interesting. This is like a pump spell. Preservarium? No, what's it called? The one that wow, okay, there's one through, so maybe we have another Akshan.
Oh dear. Seen tombs, towns, and
Rune
everything
Runner
in
of
between.
their own. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Let's draw a card. We used to play like
Scared
Wallop,
of a fair
just
fight?
like straight up Wallop, but now the deck doesn't, and that's unfortunate. I think we just keep digging, actually. Trying to think this list. Yeah, this list does not have a lot of answers to
Gently, gently.
like Gnar or Rune Runner. He used to play Wallop's man. I'm not sure why those got axed. Yeah, they're gonna play a Papercraft Dragon, and then we are going to die. In 3, 2, 1. Right now. Right now. Now. Now it's gonna happen. Here it is. That was a spell. My eyes do not deceive me. That looked like a spell of some variety. Why gotta give us hope like that? Huh? The hell? So, yeah, this is the problem with this list I'm not a fan of. There is just not enough answers to this, which is weird because, like, this is what we're doing and we know other people are doing it. We need, like, what, double Gnar? All right, he's ready. It was 16. Maybe they'll forget to attack. Triple checking. There's no way we can survive that, right? Okay. We're dead anyway. Let's try and fake him out. It's literally, I think it's like the game would not allow them to pass here. It's actually illegal. It's like, no, you have to attack. You're sorry, you are forced to attack here. There's literally no downside. But, you know, take a free roll when you can get one. All right. That was unfortunate. Well, there you have it. Gnar Akshan. I honestly don't think the deck is like... It's good. It's totally fine. But I think it's being overplayed right now. I think that's the problem with it. Also, this list, like, I don't know why we're not playing some Wallops main. I think, let's see. If I was going to switch it around, I'd probably want, like, at least 2 Wallop. Like, you can't just die. You can't just be dead every time your opponent goes Rune Runner or Paper Dragon. Like, that can't be a thing. A lot of these little, like, the Yordle Squires and stuff, like, why are we playing these? Really, they've not been very impressive. So I don't know if you need, like, some maximum amount of units, but somewhere in the, like, Yordle Squire sucks, right? It's just not a very good card. Preservarium could get nipped. Rockhopper has not been very impressive. Like, these are the cards that... Preservarium's, like, I love this card, but, you know, it really just depends on what your opponents are doing. And if they're not doing, like, grindy control things, if they're all just beating down really fast, like, Preservarium is not probably where you want to be. Wallop is not here. What the heck is Wallop? Oh, I don't own Wallops? Unbelievable. Okay, where is it? Grappling hook's interesting. Am I blind? Ah, there it is. I am blind. I do own a couple Wallops. I guess I was just there the whole time. So I don't know. Like maybe. What else did I cut? 2 wall-ups. These Yordle Squires have been pretty meh. The Treasure Seekers have also not been fantastic in this deck because the Waking Sands don't turn on your Sivir. So, like, you need to play some amount of early units, sure. But, like, these cards are just, like, a little lackluster. Treasure Seekers, like, in general, in a vacuum, very powerful. Playing 3 of those is, like, kind of gross, though. But I would probably start somewhere along here. I think you want a couple wall-ups in this meta right now. Some thoughts on the meta. It's very flat right now in that, I mean, Gnar is obviously very good. Everyone's playing it. It's overplayed. But you can play a lot of things and have success. And it's not going to be like last season where you could just pick up Ari Kennen or Pantheon and just kind of like drop your elbow on a bunch of people. It's going to be a lot more play, a lot more nuance. It's really going to reward those that put in the time and effort. So guess what I'm going to be doing this season? Putting in time and effort. So make sure you subscribe and like and all that stuff, and also come back and watch all the other videos. Okay, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. We're gonna play some more awesome decks. There's like so much cool stuff. I'm recording them all today. I'm gonna release them over the weekend. So make sure you come back, check those out. Peace.